In today's video, I'm sharing 6 Valentine DIY projects. The first 3 will be simple and quick decor items, while the last 3 will serve a dual purpose as both a gift and a decoration. We're going to start with our candy jars, and I'm going to take a gift tin from the dollar store, and I'm just going to use some scissors to quickly cut off the handle. They also sell these with a tin handle, so you want to make sure that you get the ribbon handle because it's much faster and easier to remove. Then I'm going to take the sticker off of the bottom, which isn't necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'm going to flip over the tin and take some hot glue and a floral bowl from the dollar store and glue it on top of that tin. Next, we need to make a top. I wanted to make use of something I already have, so I'm going to use 2 mason jar lids. Mason jars primarily come in 2 sizes, standard and wide. They're very similar, so I wanted to show you an example side by side. Their lid size is specifically referred to as a mouth. The standard size is too small. We need to use the wide mouth lid. They come as 2 separate pieces, so we'll need to make them whole by gluing them together. Once they're glued together, you can leave them as they are, but I'm actually going to paint mine off camera. The last step is finding something in the form of a knob that we can glue down to the top of the lid to make it easy to remove on and off the jar. I'm going to use 2 end caps of a curtain rod. I'm going to trace them in the middle of the lid just to make sure I put them right in the center. And now we are ready to go fill our jars with candy. I'm going to fill mine with some Valentine peanut M&Ms, but you can fill these with whatever candy that you want. And oops, there goes my shot at ever working at QVC. I'll just have to eat those, I guess. But that's all there is to it. There's no easier way to decorate than with a fun holiday candy display. I love these because they were so easy and fast to make, and they look like fake gumball machines. The next thing we're going to make is even faster and easier. We're going to frame 2 cards. We're going to take 2 really beautiful ornate picture frames, and first remove the paper insert inside of the frame to use as a size guide for the replacement image that I'm going to put inside of the frame. Next, I'm going to take some red felt that I purchased from the dollar store, and I'm going to trace that piece of paper from inside the frame onto the felt and cut it out. Then I'm going to take a double-sided tape runner and run it along the cardboard inside the frame. This is going to make our cards look so much more regal, and that's what they need to be because we're going to frame the king and queen of hearts inside of these frames. I purchased this deck of cards from the dollar store and removed the king and queen of hearts from the deck. If you feel like that's a waste to buy a whole deck of cards to only use 2 of them, then just save the rest of the heart suits to make another decoration. One year I made a banner for my kitchen, and to this day it's still my most favorite Valentine decoration that I've ever made. I don't know why, there's nothing that crazy about it. It's very simple, but for whatever reason I've just always been obsessed with the look of the deck of cards. It could be the fact that they remind me of Alice in Wonderland, which is my favorite childhood movie. But as you can see, these are super fast and easy and inexpensive to make for a decoration for any table area. Next, we're going to make 2 different styles of potpourri jars. I'm going to take a glass jar and a plastic craft bottle, and I got both of these at the dollar store. I'm also going to take some potpourri from the dollar store, and I'm just going to fill both of those containers with the potpourri and stuff it really gently to make sure there's no empty open gaps. Then I'm going to take some scrapbook paper, anything that looks a little worn, and I'm going to take the lid off of my biggest jar, and I'm just going to trace it on the paper so that I can cut an insert of paper to put inside the lid. You don't have to do this, but I like the extra old world look that it gives it. Then I'm going to twist my lid back on with the paper underneath, and now I'm going to take some double-sided scotch tape and I'm going to run that along the outside of the top of the jar lid. That tape is what is going to hold this piece of ribbon along the outside. I could tie it, but I want this to be really secure. And now I'll just take another style of ribbon and tie it around the front. And the final step is going to be gluing a Valentine printable on the face of the jar. These were left over from the Valentine ornaments that we recently made. I'm just going to glue these with some traditional Modge Podge matte glue on the front of the jar. I had just used a paintbrush with some pink paint, but this is not pink glue, it's just regular Modge Podge. I'm going to add a little bit on the front to really seal down those ends and wipe off any excess with a wet paper towel. And that's all there is to it. You're all finished. This is the first style that I wanted to show you because it is the more simple and easier version. You can get a different look depending on the image and ribbon that you style the jar with. Here's an example of one I made a few years ago. The second style is the same jar, but we're going to use a lace doily from the dollar store to use as a lid cover instead of the regular tin metal. And I'm just cutting the middle circle of the doily out, and I'm going to do that on both different styles of doilies and just lay them on top of the jar and then lay the lid on top of the doily. I'm going to trim off a little bit extra, and then I'm going to take some ribbon tape. I actually found this at the dollar store in the floral section. I'm just going to wrap it around the jar, and then I'm going to take two different styles of decorative ribbon and make two bows, and that's the last step. So this version is a little bit more embellished than the previous one, but as you can see, it's very easy to style and decorate with these. They just add great accents to any shelf or end table. I think they're super versatile. I made my first one year because I needed to fill a gap that I had on my mantle, and I just needed something really short. So this was just something that I came up with really quickly with materials that I already had around my house. And now we're going to make a puzzle stand. We're going to take these wood puzzle pieces. I got these from Hobby Lobby. They were $4 and they're just plain wood, so we're going to spray paint them two different colors. I'm going to spray paint one pink and I'm going to spray paint the other one red. You could paint them whatever colors you want. Then I'm going to take a wood plank. I got these from the dollar store, and I'm going to paint one of these with some acrylic paint. I got this at the $3 bin at Target, and I just wanted to try it out. I wasn't very impressed with it, so I'm going to glam it up with some glitter. I'm going to use some Modge Podge and just spread it all over the wood piece here and then dump a bunch of pink glitter on top of it. We're going to be using this piece of wood as the base stand for the puzzle pieces. Next, we're going to make our sign for the front of our puzzle that says "We Just Fit." I saw it on the front of a Valentine's Day card and I thought it was so cute. So I'm going to take some glittered cardstock and some letter stickers, and I'm actually going to glue the stickers down onto the cardstock because the adhesive of these stickers is not that strong. And then I'm going to cut it out, and it needs a little bit more than just that piece of paper, so I'm going to use two different styles of glittered paper to put behind it just to make it really pop and stand out. And then I'm going to glue both of the puzzle pieces together with my glue gun, and after this I will glue these puzzle pieces to the hot pink plank that we made earlier. I don't think it's strong enough to just stand up on its own, so I'm going to take two wood cubes that I have in my garage and just throw those behind it with my glue gun. I don't have any more of these, and so I was just going to glue the sign on the front of the stand, and truthfully, I wanted to see if I could just get away with gluing it as it is with nothing behind it, but it ended up looking kind of flimsy, and So I decided, okay, I better just put something behind this piece of paper to make it stand upright a little bit better. So I'm going to use some wood spools because I just have them and I want to use things that I already have. Is there a better option? Of course, but this is just what I have. I think this would make a really sweet and cute gift, but it also serves as a great decoration, and for me it just so happens to be the perfect fit for my Valentine toy collection area. Next, we're going to take a classic and put my twist on it. We're going to make a candy bar bouquet. We'll start with some candy stripe paper straws from the dollar store, as well as a bunch of candy bars from the dollar store. Then we're just going to take the straw and tape it to the back of the candy bars. You can use wood sticks for this, however, I have a specific reason in mind for choosing the straws that you'll see very shortly. Also, if the candy bars are king size or they're really heavy, you'll just want to use a rubber band instead of the tape because it won't be strong enough to hold them. Then we're going to take a vase and 2 styrofoam balls. You can get both of these at the dollar store. And then you're going to want to grab a funky pair of socks. They have a bunch of different styles and cute little characters, and we're going to take a sock and we're just going to pull it over the vase. We're going to stretch it till it goes all the way to the top, and there you go. We have this unique, different vase that no one else is going to have. It's got a cute little design and saying on it. And now we're going to put the styrofoam balls in there and stuff those candy bars inside of the styrofoam. And then we're going to take some heart picks from the dollar store. And the reason I specifically used some straws for the back of the candy bars is because I wanted a spot to put these heart picks that would hold them in place and keep the bouquet looking really uniform and preventing the heart picks from shifting around in the vase. Then we're just going to add a balloon from the dollar store, and voila, we have a candy bouquet. Our final project will be a Scrabble name shadow box. We're going to take a shadow box from the dollar store. You can get any design or color that you want. It doesn't matter because we're going to take it apart and we're going to scratch off any saying that's on the front of the glass. I ended up having to get some Goo Gone to scrape this off. It was a lot harder to remove than I anticipated. But then we will get some Scrabble tiles, and you can buy these on Amazon in any color that you want. I chose red for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to pick out the letters of mine and my spouse's name, and I'm going to get some double-sided tape and first spell my name on the double-sided tape and then run my spouse's name over the middle. Then I am going to take the picture that came with the frame and tape the letters on the reverse blank side with a few glittered foam hearts from the dollar store. This is not my own idea. I saw it on Pinterest many years ago. I couldn't find the original pin. However, they had done a much more plain version of this. I always thought it was cute, but never considered making it until recently because of our newfound connection to the specific board game itself. My boyfriend once said there was nothing he'd rather not do than play a game of Scrabble. Not too long after that, I got him the board game for Christmas, as a joke, thinking we'd never actually play it together. But then 3 months later, we found ourselves in the midst of a quarantine, followed by a hurricane, followed by numerous tropical storms and multiple power outages. We ended up playing a game one night randomly because we just had run out of things to do, and the most unexpected thing happened. We actually had fun doing it. In fact, we had so much fun, we played it not just every day, but 3 times a day with scheduled lunch breaks and everything. It was very serious, but it was the most fun we've ever had. It really got us through our quarantine blues and restlessness of being stuck at home for so long. So Scrabble now forever has a special place in our hearts, which is why I decided this was the perfect Valentine's Day gift to make for him this year. I hope you enjoy these projects, and I hope you have a very special Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for watching.